Enough. I'm ready. Let's move on. Now, what is it about software engineers that drives people to violence?
I don't like software which anticipates needs I don't have. The sort of spell checker thing which corrects your spelling which you didn't want to spell. I've got RSI now from correcting the corrections on my phone.
If I want to type the C word, and I do sometimes, it comes up with Cynthia, and that's my mother-in-law's name. She's lovely. It seems so unfair.
Let's hope it doesn't work the other way around.
Unfortunately, in the original Greek, it is Kunthia. Is it? There is no letter Y in Greek. It's an upsilon.
That's alarming.
It is Kunthia. Now, I'm going back to the very first software engineer that ever was.
Babbage.
Well, Babbage owed an enormous debt to this person.
Ada Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace also owed a debt to this person. Ada Lovelace wanted to use the set. You've done very well. Ada Lovelace was the daughter of
Mr. Software.
So disappointing.
Because, you know, Mr. Baker, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Mr. Butcher.
Old
Jeremiah Software.
But it's so much more interesting that she happened to be the daughter of Lord Byron, and she was one of the great mathematicians of her age, and she was a woman we should celebrate. And she was a colleague, as you say, of Charles Babbage, and they had got their difference engine, and they wanted to steal the idea of a Frenchman who'd come up with the idea. It's a software idea. It was for automating something. As a little boy, he used to sit on a particular type of machine and watch it working and thinking, I could make this better. And he invented a punch card system for it. And he has, its name is...
It's not those pianos that
No, pianolas use the same system, but this is before that. It's much more useful because it made something everybody in the world wanted to buy, which is clothes. And textiles.
Oh, is it for like a pattern on
a loom?
Cloth?
A loom. Right. It's a loom, and it's a particular kind of loom. Jacquard is the name. Joseph Marie Jacquard, and he was an extraordinary man, born in 1752. And these looms were used right up until our lifetimes. There you are.
Look at that.
That's what he invented. Now you look at those punch cards. You think, now what can that do? Babbage correctly saw this couldn't just make a loom and a tapestry and a picture, but it could also possibly do calculations and other such things that mathematicians were interested in. And so we have a portrait of Jacquard himself, which is done in woven silk using a Jacquard loom. That is done by punched cards. Isn't that astonishing? The depth, the tone, look at the knees there, the way the cloth is. I mean,
looks almost like a photograph.
It almost looks like a photograph.
Yeah. You think you'd be happier, wouldn't you?
Well, that's true. Smiling in photographs is a very recent thing.
Oh, really?
It was never considered normal. It was considered weird to smile. But the question was, why did he drive people to violence?
Ah, because he... Was it like Luddites? Did they come and smash his machinery?
They did, because it took so much work away from
the shoe throwers, the saboteurs.
And what's the French for a wooden shoe?
A sabot.
A sabot is a clog, and they would throw their clogs into the looms to break them up. And a sabot was known as sabotage, and that's where we get our word sabotage. They would sabotage his machines. And actually, Luddites in Britain were nothing like as violent as the saboteurs of France in Lyon and places like that.
Different footwear, I suppose.
Different footwear.
You're more with a clog, can't you, than a conventional shoe?
We had an outbreak of it in my parish.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's a shoe area, so when the automation of the shoe trade came in, there was a bit of smashing up of machines.
That's a nightmare, though, because if the people are destroying the machines with shoes, if the machine's still going, they're just making ammunition. For their own destruction.
I don't think they use shoes. That's so true.
Yeah. Just as they come out, chuck them back at the machine.
You don't have to use shoes to make a machine break. It just the French wore wooden clogs and those sabots. But it is fascinating, isn't it, to think...
Where would we be without trees?
Well, so true. You're right. Anyway, the first automated looms caused rioting by French weavers.